Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another DC Worlds Collide video. I hope you guys had a great weekend. As you can see, I'm behind. I didn't get to do any of my stuff last night. We were out watching the Super Bowl. Um, and we were just doing that stuff and enjoying life, and so just took a back seat, but that's all right. I'll take care of all that stuff later. We're here for the Joker kit reveal. He is in the game, and let's go knock this out real quick. Two things I want to preface before we start. One is I do not read kits well. I have said that in many videos, so take it easy on me. I know I don't have the best common sense or the best eyes, so I don't always see things perfectly. So don't troll me too hard if I get something wrong in this and you feel like I'm messing it up. Just let me know in the comments. And that's it. But I'm going to do my best. I think I kind of understand this, but, we'll go from there. So we're here with the Joker. He's a blue. And it looks like a DPS, if I see that, if I know my symbols correctly. Yep. So he's a blue DPS. So, hey, a legendary that's not a tank. He's a super villain, which is obvious. Now, these next three tags, I think I remember Gotham. Clearly, we don't have Arkham Asylum because he's the first. And I don't remember, did we have Legion of Doom before? I mean, we got characters in here, so we probably did. But we at least have one, Arkham Asylum. So I'm excited. I don't know what that's going to mean for the game or how they're going to implement that. But hey, I think that's cool. And I hope we get more tags. And I hope we can get it where these characters interact with each other based on their tags. I think that'd be really cool too. Some of his are classes, I guess I should say. Here is his tags. He in battle growth, he debuffs, he's multiple attack, and then of course fear, bleed, poison, burn, and frostbite, which are basic debuffs. And let's get right into it. His ultimate, the joke's on you. The Joker gains a bleed, poison, burn, and frostbite chattering teeth. Then unleashes all stacks of chattering teeth. Each chattering teeth attacks a random enemy and applies their stored debuff and a bonus based on the debuff. Okay, so if you use the ultimate, boom, he's going to get one stack of each of those, and then he's going to throw them at your allies. Cooldown reduced to 3 at level 2, so it at least starts at level 4, if not 5. And then once you max it out, when the Joker has 16 stacks of chattering teeth, it resets the cooldown of the ultimate. So I'm assuming like if you hit him hard and he's got like 2, it sets it to 0. And then the next ultimate's free, so he's going to, right back at you again. So, and if I read this right, the Joker gains a bleed, poison, burn, and frostbite chattering teeth. So the next one's free. Even if you use it right away, you're at least going to get one of each, if not whatever debuffs he may acquire while he's waiting for his next turn. Because there was some discussion in some of the other things I seen where they thought he was going to help debuffers and he was going to help guys like Sinestro and stuff like that. I always kind of read it as he's more anti-meta. He's more anti those guys that if you hit him with debuffs, he's going to send them back to you in the form of these chattering teeth. I think our kit reveal here is showing that that's going to be the case. He's going to be against poison. He's going to cancel out poison. He's going to cancel out burn. He's going to cancel out bleed, and of course, and what's our other one? Bleed and frostbite. Frostbite. I have yet to see that work in any. I'm sure it does. I just don't see it. But anyway, he's anti all these is the way I read the kit. Let me know if you read it different. But that's the way I read it from the beginning, and that seems to affirm that that's kind of the way this is going. His next attack is Bang, or his basic attack. If the Joker deals 85% of attack as physical damage and applies one stack of bleed and poison to the enemy and himself. So he's debuffing the enemy, and he's also debuffing himself to stack up those chattering teeth. Once you get to level 2, it's 95%, and then he's adding burn to the enemy and himself. And then when you max it out, it's 105% attack, and he's adding bleed, poison, burn, and frostbite. So he's adding them all to him. So awesome. He's debuffing the enemy. He's debuffing himself to stack up his chattering teeth. And, he's going to work. His next ability is passive, I believe, and it's Wonderful Toys. It's each time the Joker uses this skill, it rotates between 3 attacks, starting with the Tommy Gun, followed by the Acid Flower, and then Bang. So I'm reading that the first time you use it, Tommy Gun. Second time you use it, Acid Flower. Third time you use it, Bang. The Tommy Gun deals physical damage equal to 40% of his attack. Acid Flower deals physical damage equal to 80% of his attack to any row. Now here, I wish we could pick rows. I kind of like that mechanic. I know this game doesn't have it, and there's probably too much code to ever put it in. But I like games like Marvel Strike Force, Star Wars. There's another game I was playing that allowed this as well, where you can pick who you attack. There's a taunt mechanic, so it can force you to attack tanks. But if you have the right characters and there's workarounds that allow you to attack other characters. I wish we had that in this game. But we don't, so we're just going to attack an enemy row. I don't know if it means the first row first, and then if the second row's gone, or if there's a 50-50 chance you might attack the back row versus the front row, but you're going to attack an enemy row for 80% of attack. And then bang, shoots the enemy with the lowest proportion of HP, dealing physical damage to 150% of attack. So, you know, he's going to take the weakest guy, and he looks like he's going to try to go for some sort of kill shot. Once you level it up, the Tommy gun increases to 50%. The Acid Flower also applies fear for 1 turn. Bang goes up to 175. And then at the last level, the Tommy gun extends the duration of debuffs by 1 turn. Ooh, that's cool. And then Acid Flower applies fear for 2 turns. And Bang increases to 200%. So his physical damage is based on his attack, which most of them are. So that's wonderful toys. Last Laugh. Each debuff on an enemy increases the Joker's attack by 1%, and fear has no effect on the Joker. So the more debuffs he's throwing back at you, the stronger he's getting. And then the Joker's attack is increased by 25% if he's inflicted with fear. Now, I know Batman does fear for sure. I think there's a couple other characters. So it's pretty cool that Batman inflicts fear, and it just makes the Joker stronger. That's pretty interesting. Actually, let's check to make sure Batman does do fear since we're here. Oh, Bats, where you at, buddy? Oh, of course, he's not a legendary, which seems kind of... Yep. So, let's see here. Temporary games bonus. Okay, using an attack each time dealing an attack. For each type of debuff the target has it. Well, it doesn't really say where he does his fear at, does it? Huh. But it says it right here, so he must do it somewhere. Well, let me know in the comments, because I'm not seeing it in his kit anywhere, so I don't know if they just don't have it in here or what, but it seems like it should be in here. But anyway, that just makes the Joker stronger, so you don't want to be putting fear on him. You're just going to increase his attack, and then when you totally level him out, you'll increase his attack and defense, so... Don't put fear on him. And then last one is Chattering Teeth. And I think this kind of seals the deal that he's anti-debuffs. Each time the Joker is debuffed by Bleed, Poison, Burn, or Frostbite from a non-Joker enemy or ally. I'm not exactly sure what a non-Joker enemy or ally means. But instead, gain 1 stack of Chattering Teeth with that debuff stored inside. So you can't even debuff him. You hit him with Bleed, he's just going to get Chattering Teeth. And then eventually he's going to send that Bleed back at you for 3 turns, or that Poison back at you for 3 turns, or that Burn back at you for 2 turns, or that Frostbite, and deal extra physical damage per stack. So it doesn't even look like you can debuff him. That if you do, he just turns it into Chattering Teeth, and then eventually he throws it right back at you. So yeah, there's the kit. Pretty interesting. As far as what you're going to want to put gear on them, I think you're going to want them fast, right? You're going to want them attacking as often as possible to put out those debuffs. You know, you want him using his turns more and more and more. The more he's going, the more he's adding those debuffs. You know, so you want him fast, right? And I guess the attack too. Speed and attack, because everything is based on his attack here. You know, so that's what I'm thinking. Make him fast, make him hit hard. And just want him taking as many turns as possible, because every time he's taking a turn, he's adding debuffs to the enemy and to himself. And then eventually he hits that ultimate and he throws them all back at him. So that's kind of the way I'm reading it. Again, definitely let me know if you're reading a different set of gear on him. Definitely be interested to hear what you have to say. So, and then last but not least, he does have a leadership ability or synergy. Let's get in here. And it is when an ally has Bleed, Poison, Burn, or Frostbite applied to them, there's a 20% chance for that debuff to target the Joker. So he's really defending his team against those debuffs as well. And of course he wants them all because he's turning them into Chattering Teeth. So, and that's at level 4. I imagine once you get to level 10, you're looking probably at almost, I wouldn't be surprised if it's up to 75%. That 3 out of 4 times any debuff you send towards his team goes to him. So he's really defending his team from debuffs and is just ready to unleash them right back at him. So you could try to debuff a guy or a girl, and that debuff ends up going to Joker, which ends up not being a debuff. It just ends up turning into Chattering Teeth, and you're literally doing nothing. So, and the other cool thing I like about his little kit here, no superheroes. He can only be out there with villains. I know for the theory crafters and stuff like that, that's kind of a bummer. Those guys that like to put anything together and make these awesome teams, and people who do theory crafting do amazing things. I'm more basic, I guess would be the word to say. I like the idea that, you know what, the Joker's only out there with villains. I like that stuff, and you're just gonna have to figure it out from there, I guess. So no superheroes with the Joker, only villains to make his leadership work, and it's pretty good. Now I'll let the smarter people figure out if any of this is OP or seems over the top. It seems pretty cool to me, but like I said, I don't have the imagination to see this stuff. I need to actually see it in play. So, but it sounds cool, and it sounds like he protects your team from debuffs, and he's going to be throwing all those debuffs right back at you if you try to use them on him or his team. So, really cool. Excited to get him. Excited to wish I could get him on my team. I probably won't, but we're definitely going to spend what super encrypted tokens we have, and we're going to give it our best shot. So, and that's his kit, and that's his synergy, and exciting times coming. The only other thing I want to add here at the end is I did a video pretty critical of the game the other day. Make no mistake, though, I love this game. I want this game to survive. I want this game to be here for a long time. I just get a little disheartened when I see a game like DC Dark Legions that's been around roughly the same amount of time, add all these new game modes and all these things, and almost reshape their game in the year they've been around, and our game looks the same. I mean, very little, if anything's been added that I can think of, and that just worries me. And I just, I want the best for this game. I want this sale to be done so we can see what's going to happen. Because I'd like to invest in this game and have fun in this game and stuff like that. But it's hard to do at this point because there's just not a lot going on. So hopefully we see some changes. Hopefully quickly if we can. If not, hopefully that sale goes through, and then we can see what's going to happen, and hopefully we get some positive changes out of that. But just make no mistake, I love this game. I want this game to succeed. I want this game to be awesome. I want to keep playing this game, and I'm going to play it till the very last day. So I'm here till the end regardless. So alrighty guys, there's your Joker reveal, and as always, best of luck to you out there. I'm sure no one's pulling for Superman at this point. Everyone should be saving for the Joker, and I hope you get as many copies as you possibly can get, and best of luck. Alright guys, see you in the next one. Have a good one.